What's up, guys? I just made it to work. Can y'all tell me why it's raining and cold? Cold and raining. Yep, this is gonna be my Tuesday. Don't look like I'm going out my office for anything today, because if I don't have it, I won't get it. Oh, down there I have to go to Sprint. Y'all hear that rain? I don't have no umbrella. Good thing I'm a natural. I ain't gotta worry about getting my hair wet. And it's starting to rain harder. Y'all, let me get into this office. We'll talk when I get in there. What's up, guys? It's at the end of the day. Y'all, it's been a day. I promise y'all, it's been one of those days. And it's Tuesday, tomorrow, hump day, thank goodness. My office looks a mess. I have got to clean up this space. And it's such a small space. I'm just going to block this. I was going to shut it down so can we start. I'm just going to lock it. It's such a small space. A little bit of anything can make it look a whole lot of junky. I've been redoing my office. Well, I've been redoing the department and trying to clean up out there and moving stuff in here. And my office is so small, so by the time I clear out my department, I'm doing the whole feng shui thing in my department, trying to give us more space and making the energy flow differently in the department, hoping that my staff appreciates that, especially because I'm moving a lot of stuff out of there into here, and my office is like that big, so I'm starting to be overrun with stuff. And I think what I'm going to do is get rid of a lot of this stuff that I don't need. I'm just going to like send it to our department that ships stuff out. I don't even know where I can put this at. I was laminating stuff earlier. Y'all see, I just put it right here for now. Yeah, it's fine under my desk. And then, here are my other shoes. I was looking for these shoes at home. Let me sit here. Is this? They just put PTO requests on my desk. And no. Wait a minute. Okay. That's the second one she submitted. And then what is this? No. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Seriously, ready to go. This is a cell phone. I don't even understand yet. Good night, y'all. Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm over today. I am over today. And I need this day to be over. What is this? See, they just come in my office and drop stuff on my desk. And I don't even know what this is. Analysis. Like somebody's medical. What I'm going to do is come in here tomorrow and then just clean away at this at my desk. I know, y'all. Let me show y'all something. All of this is charges that my son's ex or my granddaughter's mother has filed on him over the years. This is how we know so much about the court system and the laws for custody. This is like charges after charges where she would just go down there and falsify restraining orders and false charges, and you're talking about drama. And I actually brought these here at one point to show proof that he was going through a whole lot. This is the original. Let me show y'all this. This is the original parenting agreement right here that was signed off in the courts. Let me show y'all the date it was signed off. The date right here. That's the date that this custody agreement was signed off on. This is a custody agreement. So any visitation, any custody agreement has to go through a court and be signed off on it. And I remember the day we went to court, she had filed a false restraining order against my son. And I'm pretty sure I still have it in here. Where is it? Yep, this is it. This is the restraining order she filed against my son that led to the judge giving my son joint custody, which we were going to fight for it anyway. Yep, this is it. This is crazy that I have all this legal paperwork. And the reason I kept this is to show my granddaughter once she got older that my son stayed in court fighting for her. So this is one of the restraining orders. Continues through. She attempted to get this restraining order for a year so she could alienate my son from his daughter. And what she does is she uses the court system. She manipulates the court system a lot, as y'all can see, to be vindictive and spiteful. And in this restraining order, this is her handwriting, so y'all can see. She says, on February 8, 2012, he came to my home and dragged me down the stairs. Dragged me down the stairs, kept me outside against my will, preventing me from going in the house. My child was inconsolable and crying while my mom was holding her. Now, this was 2012. This was actually, she said, February 8th, 2012. My granddaughter was born 10/10/10. So at this point, she wasn't 2 years old. This girl, it was a mess the way it fell apart in court. So we went to court, and our attorney, oh my goodness, when I say he cut them a new one, he cut them a new one. The restraining order did not stick because the judge was like, this, it was all over the place. So what it boiled down to is my son went to the house to pick up his daughter. They would not let him pick up his daughter. They called the police. They lied and said he was over there forcing her girl downstairs, hitting on her and carrying on. The story fell apart. So our attorney said, well, if you giving him, you got his daughter on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, would it be a problem for you to put that in writing? The mom then stood up, Renee, my granddaughter's other grandmother, said, no, don't give them the baby. Don't give them the baby. We're not here for that. She stood up and said, Your Honor, we don't have an attorney. We don't have an attorney. So I don't understand. We're not here for custody. We're here for the restraining order. The judge said, well, the restraining order has been dismissed. I'm not going to uphold that. And you need to sit down because you're not representing her. So Renee kept saying, well, we don't have an attorney. Well, let me just inform you of something. In domestic cases like divorce and custody, the courts will not appoint you an attorney. It is your responsibility to either get you an attorney or represent yourself. So if you have to represent yourself, or even if you have an attorney, you want to do your due diligence to make sure you know the law and your rights. I've always told my kids when they were growing up, if you do not know your rights, you forfeit your rights. Because somebody who is trying to violate your rights are not going to educate you on your rights. Our attorney went to his briefcase and said, okay, so I have some custody papers here. Would you be willing to sign them? And I guess he didn't have all of the custody papers, but he had a generic version of the custody agreement saying that they were going to be willing to share custody. Now let me show y'all. This is the original one that they signed in court. Let me show y'all what our attorney did. Now, is this the original one? Oh, this has to be the original one. Because you have to, even though you sign one in court, you still have to go to mediation to iron out the details. No, I don't have the original one. But what he did was scratch anything out that says primary care or physical. So he put joint, he would write joint all the way through, which means 50-50. Renee, my granddaughter's other grandmother, was so upset. She was like, don't give them the baby. I don't want you to sign that. Don't give them the baby. We're not here for that. The judge looked at his clerk and said, go downstairs and give me the other paper that I need to sign off on. Now, normally, the judge does not sign off on custody agreements right away because you go through mediation, the judge signs off on it, and then it's filed in the courts. That judge sent the clerk out of the courthouse down to the whatever file room they had or clerk's office to get the paperwork. She brought it back upstairs, and he signed it right there because of the way they were conducting themselves. So that day, and the judge told him, by 6 o'clock, he better have his daughter. So when you go into court for custody, the judge can say by 6 o'clock or by the afternoon, that person needs to have their child. That's if a custody agreement is not already in place. If a custody agreement is already in place, that judge has to go by what the custody agreement says. So if the custody agreement says that that person has visitation and they have been denied visitation by the other parent, that judge can say, you better have that child to that parent by a certain time or you're going to jail. If you're in a custody battle, you need to educate yourself on your rights. You do not entrust an attorney or any other body with your rights fully. You make sure they're working in your best interest. First of all, and let me just say this, I'm going to be 100. A judge has nothing to do with how much you pay your attorney. That judge did not know how much we paid our attorney. He did not question our attorney on how much we paid him and what he was or wasn't doing for us. That's not that judge's business. It is our business to do our due diligence as consumers who are paying an attorney to work for us to make sure that that attorney is doing his job and that the money that we are giving him or paying him to do, that he is providing us the service that we are paying for. If we pay our attorney $10,000 and he give us $3,000 worth of work, guess whose fault it is? Ours. The judge not going to say give her money back. No, that's between us. Not between the judge, that's between us. And trust us, we paid our attorney good money to make sure some things happen. She was using the baby to control him. And I am so grateful that this girl is out of his system altogether. He's moved on, and she's still trying to use my granddaughter as a pawn. But my son cannot hear her anymore, he only sees her. And this is why I say that, because he told me he had a dream about her, and he said, well, I can't. He said in the dream her mouth was moving, but I couldn't hear her. I said, because you've now deafened your ears to the lies that she's willing to tell you, and you're watching her behavior. Because you could still see her in your dream, but you couldn't hear her. And that's the best way to deal with somebody that you know that's willing to manipulate you, use you, and abuse you. That's the best way to deal with them. Do not listen to them. Watch them. Listen to their behavior and watch their words. But yeah, I kept all of this legal paper. Everything. All the false restraining orders. We was in court every year, twice a year, until we left Charlotte. Jasmine is a tyrant and a terrorist. I'm not going to use her last name, but her first name is Jasmine. Jasmine is such a common name. But anyway, you want to manipulate. If you want to be a liar and a manipulator and abuse the law for your own good, okay. And you know what? I'm not even mad with them. I don't go back and forth with them because you can't say nothing to tear them down no more than they're already tearing themselves down. And the thing about it is I kept trying to give her and her mother the benefit of the doubt. See, there's no benefit in that doubt. When you attempt to give somebody the benefit of the doubt, it benefits them while you're in doubt. It makes no sense, because the more I tried to say, no, we're going to take the higher ground, we're going to get on the benefit of the doubt, they're not going to do this again, they got worse and worse and worse and worse. Like, this girl hates herself. That's why she conducts herself the way she does. Let me tell you something. People who truly like themselves, who are trying to be invested in themselves, who are trying to be better people, don't have time to tear the next person down. They don't have time for drama. They don't have time for it. They don't have time for it. They don't want to invite it into their lives. They're looking for a positive path, a positive path and a positive resolution. People who like drama don't like themselves, and they use the drama to redirect or deflect from anything that they got going on, because they don't know, they really don't like what they see in the mirror. So when you're trying to give somebody the benefit of the doubt, what benefit is in that doubt? That's the question you need to ask. Y'all, I'll talk to y'all later. I don't even know how we got on this subject. I just cleaned up my office and found the darn things. I knew I filed this away, but I guess I didn't. So now I'll take this home and put it in my file case. I'll talk to y'all later. And y'all know what I always say. Live your life with a purpose and on purpose. Bye, guys.